like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want. Yeah, call us dangerous, ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much, actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, defense.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. Now Darnold, airing one out for... That's caught at the 25. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 56 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in.
That's going to be caught by Crowder. It's a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
At the 33-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Easy, easy.
Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school,
a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush.
oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 35-yard line.
180. Check 154. 154. 3 bud.
On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. William Golston. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Jets 7, Steelers nothing.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Hines, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Right there.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football.
And he's into the clear. He's at the 40, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 91 yards. And the Jets will extend their lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Don't want to.
No, but don't let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
Let's go.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's Hines. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go one more.
On 2nd down and 4, Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something. Give me something. Quarter. Hey, check Mike 57.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Ebron's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. 54 mark. 54 mark.
Ben to throw again. And he whips that one incomplete there. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But now it's 3rd and goal.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And I don't want to harp on it, but this defense among the bottom in the league against the run, and they show it right there.
And it doesn't matter when you get prepared for this defense, whether you're good running the ball or not. That's your plan. Run the ball against them. That's their weakness. And by the way, I think you harped on it.
I did. Not bad. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Marr is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. One set. Snicker. Smooth.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is a season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, we may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Back to throw, Darnold. Trying to lay one up deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the 2nd half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Roethlisberger to throw. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. They go for just one here as it's up and good. And that will get them one closer. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. The third quarter has not been kind to them after they built that lead at intermission. They've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards, first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And he's taken down inside the 30. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Watch two. Better bring it.
They'll go again with Bell. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And they'll start on the ground with Hines. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and throwing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Down the numbers. There he goes. And it's a touchdown for the Jets.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick six. Flushed out right. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards.
Block 80. Check. Watch 54. There we go.
Now a give, right side. It's Hines. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now a toss play, it's Hines. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Bell. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. Now on 2nd and 13, Roethlisberger. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Hines. But despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, D. Big series.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
But it's brought in in by Washington. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Roethlisberger. Ebron with it over the middle. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Ready? Like 20? Right there. 54 Mike. Bend it. Bend it.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Johnson's got it complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 27-yard line.
A gain of 21 yards. 1st down, Pittsburgh.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
On 1st down, it's Bell. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Mike 3. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Now it's Darnold. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Steven Nelson. There he goes left side. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
And now the Jets are going to get this one, and that might be all she wrote. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Go, son. 2, Mike, 2. And let's get this,
The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13. Today's final score.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit, they were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Jets, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it just keeps getting worse as they're going to fall to 1-14. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad think pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the big skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her lame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame it on Gino. Snowflake the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Hit a genie with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate, pay their bills. They can't get it by they self.
That's why you treat my men good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just enough.
I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way, cause my bros on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
With this rhyme, I make a joke, everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. Yeah. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work